welcome back to my channel. How you doing today? We are filming that $35 budget that you guys chose like last week, I think. And I was a bit indecisive on how I wanted to do this. If you see my short, you know already. So what I do, I list a few different budget ideas and you guys vote on the one you want to see next. And you guys chose $35. And I went into this little series. I want to be extremely realistic, like what I would do for my family if that was my budget. And right now, it's that time of year where the garden veggies are coming in crazy hard. And what I do, I supplement my garden veggies. Guess she's getting in the car. So, it's that time of year where I like to supplement my grocery budget because we got veggies coming in awful hard. So, I didn't know if I should be that realistic or not. I mean, it's what I do. So, I asked you guys in a short, should I use my garden veggies in this video? And 98% of you said, heck yes, I should. So, I guess I'm going to. But, the sun is in my eyes. Oh, Lord. A few of you guys said no, because everybody doesn't have a garden. And some people want to copy my grocery list to a T because it, you know, it could help them in their grocery shopping. And yes, I understand that as well. I understand. And then a lot of you said yes, because it could show people how important having a garden is and how it can help stretch some dollars. And some people live in an apartment and they don't have like a lot of space and they can't have a garden. But it could show the importance of maybe it could show the importance of maybe a balcony garden, or if you could talk to your apartment manager to see if you could have like a little area sectioned off for a community garden. And also maybe you could get with friends or family if they have a little bit of a backyard and you guys could go in together on having a garden. They have it in their backyard and everybody contributes the plants, the work, and you could split the produce. So I was like, well, that's a really good idea too. But I also want to do one where everybody benefits, and like some people don't have a garden. So another lady said, Brooke, you should do both. You should do one to show people the benefits of having a garden and one for people who don't have a garden, so you get both of it. And I was like, that is a great idea. So that's what I'm going to do. This video is the first version, $35 with supplementing items from my garden and what I grow around my backyard. And now, normally when I do this video, I take a vote and I ask you guys, what budget do you want to see next? I'm not going to do that this week. I'm going to skip that because the next one is going to be a $35 budget without a garden. So I already know what I'm going to do. So that's what today's video is. We're going to be doing $35 budget and using items from my garden in my backyard, my blackberry bushes, things like that. Yeah, anyways, let's go shopping. We're going to go to good old Aldi. Yeah, I said Aldi. And Wally World Dollar Tree. You my helper today. Mm-hmm. Okay, first thing I got, bananas. Because they are very cheap. And a produce. Some of that. If I can get a hold of it. If I can get it. Oh. It's time for Walmart calling. Are you ready? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Going through the Walmart.
Do we need some beans?
Yeah, we need some beans, but not those beans. We need some cheap beans.
Cheap beans? Oh, all the beans are cheap. Oh, should we get the black kind?
No, we should get.
Oh.
We need pinto beans.
And where are they?
Right there. Yes, that big old bag of beans will do. 2 pounds of rice here is $1.77. It is $1.25 at Dollar Tree, so we're gonna pass it here. Now that is mega depressing. We're back. Let me show you what I got. Now normally, these are a pantry item for me. I always have them in the home, but where this is going to be a majority of my bread and cornbread, things like that, I added this into the $35 budget. So, I went to a mix of Dollar Tree, Walmart, and Aldi. My total was $35.81. I went 81 cents over, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So, here we go. We got some all-purpose flour, self-rising cornmeal, yeast, peanut butter, pasta, 3 packages of ramen, red enchilada sauce, coconut milk, Dollar Tree, $1.25, the best deal on coconut milk, 2 pounds of pinto beans, 2 pounds of rice, broccoli florets, carrots, brown sugar and cinnamon cream cheese spread, English muffins, cereal, a big old sack of chicken leg quarters, carnita seasoned boneless pork shoulder from good old Aldi. She was $4.66. Plastic cheese, Dusty's favorite, and a gallon of milk. This is what I got for $35.81. And remember, guys, this video I am supplementing with stuff I have in my backyard. And the bananas. I totally forgot to show you the bananas. I am going to prep a lot of this stuff before I start my day tomorrow. I just about choked on air. I'm going to do that here in a minute. But first things first, I'm going to go out here and check my garden and see if I can pick any veggies and berries, things like that. Yes, me and Kyla went down there and we picked this many blackberries today. So that's from our garden. We got some eggs from the chickens. They're very dirty because it has rained like crazy. We got a couple of these squashes and some onions. There is a couple other things that I could have picked, but it started getting dark and I was like, I'll just get it later. So I'm going to wash up this produce, especially the berries, and get it ready. All right, besties, I have taken a shower. It looked different. And I need to prep a few things because my $35 grocery budget begins tomorrow. But I do need some prepping for this week because I am going to be home making my bread. And I will link that recipe down below. I did a video on that. And it came out to, I think, 65 cents a loaf. So I'm going to be home making my bread. My chicken leg quarters, I am going to go ahead and break them in half, separate for meals. And they usually leave the spines, the backbones on the chicken, and that is going to make fantastic broth for a few things. And I have this idea because I seen that they had the coconut milk at the Dollar Tree. And that's a daggone good deal for some coconut milk. $1.25, that's a good deal. And when I seen this, I was thinking, I have some curry powder that has been in my cabinet for 2 years. I don't think spices can expire. Surely not. Even if they do, I'm using it. But I think I'm going to make some curry. Not authentic curry. Using what I have access to curry. I have some taters in my garden that I can dig up. And I can put some taters in it. Should I put taters? I think I'm going to put taters in it. Maybe. I don't know. But first things first, I am going to prep my chicken leg quarters. Let's do that. Okay. Besties, here's what we got going on. I have my giant bowl. I have some freezer bags over here ready. Got my chicken out. I got my 2 favorite knives that 2 viewers sent me. Y'all are awesome. I'm gonna get started on prepping up this chicken. I've noticed if you prep a chicken like this for the week, you're more likely to not cave and go get something at the restaurant. Okay. lot of fat. I could probably use some of this fat as well for maybe oil. I don't know. All right, one leg. Okay, and here is that backbone there. See that? I don't want that. There's a thigh. And here is that backbone piece that has chicken in it. But I'm going to use this to make chicken broth. So we're not throwing it away. We're keeping it. I did it. Here's all the chicken cut apart from each other. And now I'm going to separate it into bags and put it in the freezer. Into 3 separate baggies because this is what my family can eat. I know my family. I know what they can handle, what they can't. Your family might eat different than mine, and that is okay. This is the amount of chicken that can feed us for one meal. So I have it divided in 3 bags. I might change my mind as time goes through this week and I might have 4 or 5 meals out of these 3 bags. I don't know. But just me thinking right now how much we eat if I cook chicken separately and not like in a big dish. I divided it this way. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in the freezer. I have lots of backbones and a couple of thighs in here actually. So my plans are to boil this up and make some bone broth, and any of the chicken left on the bones, I'm going to peel it off and hopefully use that for something because there is a lot of meat, as you can see. There is a lot of meat still left on these bones, so I'm hoping that I can get more off of it when I boil it up. Okay, I got my giant stock pot here filled with some water. I'm going to turn the heat on and toss these chicken pieces in here. You guys know how I tell you to save all the pieces to your veggie scraps so you can make a good broth with it? Well, I'm going to go get my veggie broth bag and dump in here to have extra flavor for my broth. And if you don't have a veggie broth bag yet, you don't have to do that. This will work. It's just that I have it. I've been saving those scraps, so I'm going to use it. And maybe if you haven't thought of saving those veggie scraps, this will show you a good way to use it so that you can use everything and you don't have a lot of waste. All right, dump my veggie broth scraps in there. I'm gonna just bring this to a boil for a few hours. Next step in the prep game, I'm gonna wash all these berries that me and Colin picked today. There's probably more out there that needs picked, but it was getting dark. So this is all we could do. This is a pretty good amount. Ooh, I'm excited. I think I want to show you guys how to make some blackberry dumplings. A staple here in the South. I'm just going to wash these up real good, let them soak in a little bit of vinegar and water. I'm going to pick out any stems that we left. Alright, I have all of those berries we picked sitting in this bowl of cold water with a little bit of vinegar in it. It's going to loosen up like any dirt, any bugs, anything that's stuck to the berries. I'm going to let them sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then I'm going to drain them, rinse them again, rinse them again, rinse them one more time. And then I'll feel like they're clean. Hi, so I am making the bread. I'm going to link the recipe to this bread that I have on my channel down below so you guys don't have to see me make it again. And if you haven't seen it and you want to try it, you can go watch that video. So I'm going to go ahead and start making it. The broth has reduced to about 2/3 of what it was. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's ready. This is my huge bowl, and this is just half of the broth. Well, maybe a little more than half. But this is a lot of broth, and it is rich and very beautiful, and it smells amazing. Now, I gotta get the rest of this out of there. Kettle full, and this giant bowl full. I also have, if you can see, those chunks of chicken in there. And I'm gonna let everything cool, and I'm gonna try to pick off as much of the chicken meat as I can. I'm just gonna let this chicken broth just sit out for the rest of the night. It's really late. And let it cool, because I don't want to put it in the fridge. It might crack the glass in the refrigerator, so I'm just gonna let it cool on the stove. Just once again, look at the beautiful broth. Huge. Good morning. Today's breakfast, we're all just having some cereal. Look at the beautiful fruity colors. There is no artificial flavor or high fructose corn syrup. I'm sorry, it's just cereal. Potatoes. Here's today's loot. Lots of potatoes. Well, not a lot, but like 10. Potatoes! I decided to take out one of those bags that had 5 thighs in it, and I cut all the meat off of the thigh bones. And I put a tablespoon of curry on top of it. Curry powder. You can get this for like $2 at Wally World, and I swear this one bottle has lasted us 2 years. And it's still almost full. Okay, so besides that, I don't know if this is right. I'm doing this from memory. I'm putting a little bit of soy sauce in there, and I'm going to let this soak for a while in the refrigerator. I trimmed up 2 of my garden onions, and I am going to coarsely dice these up along with some carrots and potatoes that you see me get out of the garden. I threw the coarsely diced onions in a pot. Now I'm going to dice up 3 carrots. I diced up about half of those potatoes that I dug up from the garden, 3 of the carrots, and 2 of the garden onions, and I put a little bit of olive oil at the bottom, and I'm just going to start kind of cooking this up. I'm not going to cook it all the way through. I just want it to be, you know, kind of fragrant is the word. You know, when you start to smell the onions and all that. That's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing this all from memory. Hi. So I don't know what I'm doing, like I've said 5 times. But my plan is to kind of put a little sear on the outside of the veggies for flavor. Then I'm going to do the same to the chicken, and I'm going to dump everything together in a crock pot so it can cook slowly over the course of the day. That's my plan. Dang, y'all. This smells so good. I love the way onions and carrots smell. So simple, and it smells so great. As you can see, there's hardly any room in my kettle. But that's why I'm going to do it in the slow cooker. And that's why I'm going to cook the chicken separately. Also, I have always heard that some people put like tomatoes, crushed tomatoes in their curry. The recipe that I have tried before this one didn't say to do that. So that's why I'm not doing it this time. And I know I could look up the recipe that I made years ago. I could do that, but that's no fun. I just want to see what I can do. But maybe I can, maybe I can't. Maybe it'll be awful. We'll see. Okay, to get all the flavor bits off of the bottom, I'm going to add 4 cups of chicken broth that we made yesterday. Just to get the little bits off of the bottom of this. And then I'm going to dump this into the crock pot. There's probably an easier way to do this, but hey, this is what I'm doing, and I'm feeling good about it. Now it's time to get those chicken thighs cooked up. By the way, like I said, this is 5 chicken thighs, 5 total. I'm a terrible person. I just remembered. I forgot to show you guys that I put 2 tablespoons of sugar, a tablespoon of garlic, and some ginger, like dried ginger, in that chicken too before I put it in the fridge. I forgot to show you. I'm sorry. Personally, for me, I prefer white chicken, like chicken breast. But this is a perfect example of just, you know, trying to make things work within your budget. Thighs are my second favorite part of the chicken. So this will do. I would so prefer to have chicken breast for this, but I'm gonna do chicken thighs, definitely. By the way, I wanted to show you guys how much chicken broth that made. I put 4 cups into that curry, and I have 2 half gallons of that chicken broth up right here. So that made a ton, and look how rich and beautiful it is. Also, this is just my bread. I don't know if I showed you what my bread looked like when I wrap it up. I just wrap it up in parchment paper. Yeah, that's the bread. Okay, put in a whole can of coconut milk into that chicken. Did I do this right? I don't know. But I'm going to cook this on low for 8 hours. So I'll let you know in 8 hours. Even if I didn't do it right, if it tastes good, it's still a win. Yeah. Before I forget, I cannot believe I forget, salt. I'm going to do about 3 pinches of salt. 1 pinch of pepper. For lunch today, I have sliced up some bread, and we're going to have some good old grilled cheeses. With Dusty's favorite plastic cheese, this is honestly becoming his favorite. Good old-fashioned grilled cheesies, of course. I mean, it's a staple. It has to be. Plus, it's easy, and it's cheap. Simple lunch, guys. I made grilled cheeses. Dusty isn't here, so he doesn't get one. So I made 4 grilled cheesies with the homemade bread and the plastic cheese. And I set out that big bowl of blackberries. The kids can have it on the side if they want. They can get a little sugar, dip berries in sugar, whatever. But here is lunch. It's curry time. It's not as thick as I would like, so I'm going to take some of this juice and mix it with 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm doing it separately in a bowl because it helps me get all the chunks out. It's easier to do it like this to make sure there's no chunks of flour in a separate bowl than in the whole big bowl of curry. Just gonna whisk this up and pour it in. See, doing it separately, you can make sure to get all of the clumpies out of it. I'm just going to pour it in here. Let it cook for about another hour, and she'll be pretty thick. The curry is done. Is it good? I don't know. Also on the side, I am cooking up some rice from that rice we got. And there's the curry.
That is very good.
Really?
Very nice.
Thank you. Nobody freak out. His lips are blue, but it's because we was at a family weenie roast, s'more roast, and he had blue Kool-Aid.
Mmm. That's really good.
Y'all, this is how much we have left after everybody got a heaping serving. This is going to be lunch tomorrow, definitely, because that is a lot. This made a ton. Day 82 breakfast. I don't know if each person is going to eat 2 of these, because like I told you guys a million times, we're not big on breakfast. But I got the English muffins. I put some of the brown sugar and cinnamon cream cheese on it, and then I topped it with some banana slices. And this isn't necessary, but if you have it, honey. If I can get my honey out of the thing. But yeah, simple breakfast, easy. I really don't know if each of us are going to have 2 of these. It's probably just going to be 1, I want to be honest. But I'm going to give the kids the option of having 2. And I'll let you guys know how many English muffins we have left. Good morning, my precious. Oh, did you drop a banana?
That's pretty good.
Yes, this is what leftover curry looks like the next day. This is lunch, and I'm going to heat it up in the microwave because I'm not turning on that stove if I don't have to because it is hot as heck. But yes, leftover curry. This is going to be our lunch. Hey everybody, so we're doing day 2 dinner, and we are going to be doing some chicken and rice, and I'm going to be making some homemade cream of chicken soup to put on top of this. And let's just get started because everybody's starving. To make homemade cream of chicken soup, cream of anything soup, it is so easy. For 1 can worth, you're going to need 2 tablespoons of butter, but I'm going to be making 2 cans worth, so I'm going to be using 4 tablespoons of butter. Get this melted. Okay, once your butter is melted, put in equal amounts of all-purpose flour. And it's going to look like Play-Doh, and this is perfect. And we're going to let this cook for about 1 minute to 2 minutes to get that raw flour taste out. Now, since I'm making 2 cans worth of cream of chicken, I'm going to put 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of that chicken broth in here. If you just need 1 can worth, half it. I'm just going to whisk this until it gets thick, and that is homemade cream of chicken soup. Now, she's done. I'm using the crock pot Dutch oven that Miss Susan Moore sent me. Thank you, Susan, again. I'm going to add 2 cups of the uncooked rice we have, 2 cups of water. So I set out some of that chicken that I bagged up, and I let it thaw. Here is all that raw chicken. We got 5 pieces in here, 1 for each person, and I'm just season it up with what you have. Doesn't matter. I'm using some of this onion butter seasoning that I got a while back. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit more seasoning on the tops of this chicken. Okay. I'm not too comfortable with the amount of water that's in that rice. I think I'm going to add 1 more cup. Now, what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to let this cook on 375 for about 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, it's not going to be done, but that's when I'm going to add my cream of chicken soup on top. I want to let the rice get a little done before I add the cream of chicken. I'm going to be cutting up some squash and zucchini to cook with some of our garden onions. These came from my garden, so we can have some veg on the side. Hello, George. So here's what we're doing. When I cook up zucchini or squash like this, I like to take out the seeds because the seeds is what makes it slimy. Slimy just ain't my thing. But they don't go to waste. I'm going to give this to my chickens. I do this to both squash and zucchini. So if you don't like the sliminess of it, try it this way. I choked. Try it this way because it's not slimy like this, and it's really good. I poured that entire kettle of cream of chicken that we made, and then I mixed it around just a bit to get in there with the rice. And I'm going to put the lid back on and cook it for 30 more minutes. Now we are going to start those veggies that we cut up. Put a little bit of olive oil in my skillet. Okay, here is 2 of those squashes I showed you, and that zucchini, and 1 of the garden onions that I picked. All of this came from my garden. Oh no, I'm making a mess. Don't do what I did. Also going to put some of that onion butter seasoning just so it'll have a little something else to it. In case you're wondering.
It's good.
For real? Okay, Ryder, Daddy's in there going, ooh, oh, this is excellent. How do you feel about it?
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
That's really good.
Try the veggies.
Those are some good veggies.
Howdy, we're doing lunch. Lunch, I want to make some butter pasta. But instead of boiling the rigatoni in water, we're going to boil it in some of that chicken broth for added flavor. And I'm going to be using some minced garlic and some easy onion. And butter. Possibly some zucchini because I have it coming out my ears. This is freezing cold, so I am going to start boiling this up before I put the pasta in it. Okay, to a skillet, I added 2 tablespoons of butter, some easy onion, and a big heaping spoonful of garlic. And to that, I'm going to add 1 zucchini from my garden. With some pepper and 2 pinches of salt. She's starting to steam, so she's warming up. Let's bring her to a boil. Okay, now I am pouring in the noodles. Remember, this is buttered pasta, so I'm putting 2 more tablespoons of butter on it, and I put about 1/4 cup of the pasta chicken broth water in this as well. If you have some grated Parmesan, it would go perfect on top. Paired it up with some of our fresh bread. This is a pantry staple for us. It's not necessary, but since we have it, I'm going to use it, as I'm sure everyone would. Bam.
All right.
Be honest with our homies. It looks bomb, I will say. Does it not look bomb?
That tastes very good.
Really? Thanks! I have picked through my beans, washed my beans. We're having some beans tonight for dinner. I'm cooking the whole 2 pounds, and the leftovers I'm going to turn it into something else. But I'm going to be doing this in my good old Instant Pot. To make it a little bit more nutrient rich, I am going to be using that homemade chicken broth. This is my last half gallon, and that's what we're going to be cooking the beans in. I poured that whole half gallon in here, and you can see it's got that chicken fat on top. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt because beans always need salt. And I think I am still going to put like a dollop of Crisco in this because that's not a lot of fat for a whole 2 pounds of beans. So there we go. I put another spoonful, but it broke in half. It looks like a lot, but I swear it was just a big dollop from a spoonful. So I'm going to cook these on 65 minutes, then quick release. To go along with these soup beans, we're going to fry some taters. I dug up a couple more taters from the garden, as you see here. It's a mix between yellow, white, and red. So I'm going to wash these up real good. We're going to peel them. We're going to fry them. Just because it's garden season, we're going to be making some fried green tomatoes with this as well. And of course, homemade cornbread. I'm making that cornbread I told you we were going to make on the side of the soup beans, so I don't have to show you guys how to make this again. I have a video where I show you how to make a bunch of different types of southern cornbread. I'll link that down below so you can go find out how to make this. I got this really cool new Lodge cast iron cornbread pan. I'm excited to use this, but I'm going to heat up the bread pan and the oil before I put my mix into it, and I haven't mixed it all up good yet. To make the breading for the fried green tomatoes, you're going to use cornmeal. I'm eyeballing it. And however much cornmeal you use, you're going to use half of that amount in flour. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in here, a little bit of pepper. Say a little bit, but I put a ton. Adobo. Good-o. Adobo. She's my bestie. Howdy, I cut up all the potatoes. We're going to start frying them. Frying those taters. I cut up those green tomatoes. I went and picked another one out of the garden so I could bulk it up a bit because that wasn't really enough because everybody loves these things. And I have that mix I showed you, and I poured a little bit of milk and an egg into a bowl. And we're going to dress it. We're going to bread it. And I'm also heating up some oil. Getting ready to put the cornbread in the oven. I made too much mix. Therefore, we're going to have another round of this. Well, that's good though, because it'll be good for leftovers. Okay, what we're going to do, first thing, put it in the dry. Make sure to get the sides. Then we're going to put it in the wet. Back to the dry. Okay. Just put a little bit of salt and pepper on the fried taters. They're about done. We have fried potatoes, fried green tomatoes, ranch to go with those fried green tomatoes, ketchup to go with them fried taters, homemade chow chow that I made from my garden last year to go with cornbread and good old soup beans, and some garden onions because we like to dip onions in our soup beans. Now there is another pan of cornbread cooking. It's not done yet. But this is dinner. This is dinner. Bam. Anyways, here it is. Here's dinner. We got some fried taters, soup beans, cornbread, chow chow, onions. Yeah. That is a hot. Go try my fried green tomatoes for everyone.
Ooh,
Okay, we gotta see the inside of that. Just in case y'all are wondering. Now, she ain't pretty, but she's done. This is my other ton of cornbread that I made here. Because I made too much. But, considering we have this whole pan left, and I'm going to wrap up in some parchment paper. And we have all this left. This is going to be supper another night. Plus, I'm going to probably save about a cup of these beans, and I'm going to use it to make some enchiladas or something. The boys and I had a bowl of cereal for breakfast today, and you may notice blue Fruit Loops in there. That's because I emptied that box into another cereal box that had a lid on it so it wouldn't go stale, and it had like a half a cup of Fruit Loops in there, so there's some blue ones. That's, you know, it's fine. Lunch today is so crazy simple. I've said it 1,000 times. Simple lunch, simple breakfast equals more money saved in your pocket. Okay, so we're just doing 2 open-faced grilled cheese. We're doing 2 open-faced peanut butter sandwiches with some banana on the side for each person. For each person. With the homemade bread that I made. Simple. It's going to be bomb.com because it's peanut butter and bananas. Hello. Howdy. Dinner. I'm putting it on a little early today, but that's because it's a carnita pork shoulder roast from the good old Aldi. And I think I'm going to home make some tortillas. And this is not authentic. Don't come at me, but it's going to taste good. But it's not authentic. It is, repeat, not authentic. And I am not Hispanic by any means. And my tortilla making ways are probably not correct. I do it the Southern girl version way when she just wants a tortilla. My abuela did not teach me how to do this. So don't come at me because I might not be doing it right. But they taste good. So I have some of that plastic cheese over there. Yes, I said it, plastic cheese. And we're going to be making some quesadillas. I'm doing what I only have plastic cheese. We're working with what we got. But listen here, it's going to be bomb. Carnita quesadillas. Let's go. Yeah, this is all I did. I just dumped it in. Cook her on 4 hours on high. If it's not tender enough at 3 hours, I'll probably add an hour to it. Just doing a little checkup on the carnitas. I started poking it a few minutes ago, and they're falling apart. But this right here, it doesn't want to fall apart as much as I'd like, so I'm going to let it cook for another hour. Hi, it's time to make the tortillas. 3 cups all-purpose flour. 1 tablespoon of baking powder. 2 teaspoons of salt. 1 cup of water. A stick of butter, and we're going to melt this in the microwave. Pouring that in there. I'm going to let this chill for about 5-10 minutes. Not chill. I will let it relax. Okay, it's done. Now what I want to do next, I am going to crisp the edges up in a little bit of oil and a pan. Sprinkle out some flour. Okay, I want to start making my balls. I want to make them even, so I'm doing everything in half. Yeah, and we'll roll up in a ball. There we go. I'm going to let these rest for a few minutes too. I tried to make the outside of these as crunchy as I could. You see it's got little crunchy bits. So it's going to be good. Crunchy bits means flavor. More flour. Get one of those balls. I roll it out in the shape of a tortilla the best I possibly can. tortillas are never perfect circles. Okay, I think this is thin enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in a skillet and start cooking it. Whoop, 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 she's done. Next one. It made 16 tortillas. And they're so soft and they smell so good. And I swear, there's really 16 in there. And they're not pretty and circled. And they're very pliable. And them tortillas. And I know cheddar will be better, but this is all I have, so I'm working with what I have. That's the whole point to staying on budget, working with what you have. Please don't come at me. Carnita meat, plastic cheese. Flip that over. And I am getting some of the carnita juice from the crock pot where it cooked. We're gonna cook up this quesadilla. So, that's what she looks like. Yes, I know there's flour on my nose, and in a few minutes there's gonna be cheese on my nose. That's bomb. I would just like to say the homemade tortillas really made it pop. It doesn't matter that it's American cheese. It doesn't matter. It's so good. I'm going to show you the homemade tortillas, how pliable they are. And you could honestly eat them by themselves. They're so good. Oh man, this is my favorite nut so far. I can't even tell you how bomb this is. It's so good. Brighter. Tell them. It's I had cheese on my nose.
That is amazing.
Ryder said amazing. He never says amazing. It is.
That is very good.
It's one of the best made things. Can't even talk. One of the best things I've made in a long time, in my opinion.
I agree.
Just taste it. Just taste the awesomeness that is it. You have flour. I do have flour on my nose, and I had cheese too. He's speechless.
Mama? It's definitely good. Brady, don't eat it all here. Well, just let me enjoy this.
Ryder's trying to get him to put Chipotle on it. And Braden's like, no, you're going to ruin it.
Put this dot right here.
I told them that in my opinion, you can even eat the homemade tortillas by themselves and it's still bomb. So, when it goes to try it, he's chomping down right now. That's a pretty good tortilla.
A pretty dang good tortilla.
What do you think about the tortilla, Ryder?
I like the tortilla. That's a good tortilla. You know what's a good Snack.
That's a lot of salt.
Put a little too much on there. It's a raw potato chip, not potato chip.
This isn't
It's
corn.
a raw tortilla chip.
Oh, well, this is a flour tortilla, not corn. Okay. I'm gonna fill up on a tortilla. Buddy, I'm getting a hug by Braden because he says it's the best food in the world. Good morning. We have 3 English muffins left, and we're just making some of those English muffins with the cinnamon cream cheese, brown sugar cinnamon cream cheese. I got a few bananas left. We're going to be making some of those little delicious thingies that I made the other day. They don't have a name. Cannot even tell y'all how awesome these things are. So simple, so delicious. Light. We love anything light on our stomachs in the morning if we do have breakfast. So, perfection. Lunchtime, y'all. I'm going to be making a ramen noodle stir fry with the broccoli and the rest of those carrots that we have. I know this bag is a steamable bag of broccoli, but since I'm already steaming carrots, I'm just going to throw these in here too, because there's no sense, you know, in doing 2 separate ones when I can do them together. Right, let's steam up the broccoli and carrot. It's like normal at this point for me to look like Dookie through half of these videos. It's just how I am. I know there's going to be questions like 3 packs of ramen noodles for your whole family, Brooke? It's insanity. You're starving them. Because I know comments before they happen. I just wanted to show 2 servings per container. And we like to keep breakfast and lunch super simple. That way we can have a bigger dinner, better on the budget, better on our stomachs, because we cannot have a full stomach, crazy full stomach throughout the whole day. We just don't feel good if we do. So, perfect for a small lunch. Also, you may have noticed in this video, there's a lot more prep work and things like that. That just shows that, you know, it has to happen for you to save money, because things, you can't buy more convenience items when you're trying to save money. So that's what this video, you see me doing a lot more prep work. Noodle time. I think these are done. So I'm going to remove this, let them chill. I'm just going to cook these halfway. And I'm going to cook them with the powder to give them that chicken-esque flavor. Yes, Kylan, can I help you?
I'm just watching it.
Oh, okay. I've decided not to make stir fry. I'm smelling this and it smells good, and I want some ramen noodles now. But I am going to still add the veggies and everything like that, except to Kylan's, because he hates cooked carrots and cooked broccoli. Remember, y'all, this is a video where I'm using things that I grow myself in my backyard. I grow my chickens in my backyard. So a lot of viewers suggested to use this because they wanted to see how it really supplements. So I'm going to be using a few eggs. I'm removing some noodles for Kai. I'm going to make his a bit different. For Kylan's, I'm going to make it a little different. So a little bit of soy sauce in there. Garlic. And you're probably wondering what I'm doing over here that you can barely see. I'm frying eggs to put on top of Ryder and Braden's and Dusty's. Added protein. bit of brown sugar into Kylan's noodles. And I'm cracking an egg in Kylan's to cook, so he can get extra protein as well. Just mix it all together. Wait for that egg to cook. When the egg's cooked, this is done. Here's lunch. Kylan's and everybody else's. My egg is pretty much done in the middle because I don't like them really runny. There we go. Lunch with 3 packs of ramen. Hey, Precious.
Hello. That is very good.
Thanks. Dinner tonight. I got the leftover cornbread. And everybody gets a big bowl of beans with some chow chow. Yes, we're being super lazy today and we're using the leftovers, so it's perfectly fine. It's going to be delicious. Anyways, save bean, cornbread, chow chow. Leftover nights are the best because that means I don't have to do hardly anything. This is day 6, last day. We're skipping breakfast today because we don't want it. This is what we have left. Some of those, a little bit of carnita meat left. This many soup beans left. We have, I would say, 8 of the tortillas. Some rice, about half of the bag of cornmeal. Probably 3 cups of flour maybe. Half of the peanut butter. We still have the red enchilada sauce. We still have one of those bags of chicken legs, and I set it out last night to let it thaw. We still have a few pieces of cheese, 2 packs of the yeast, and a little bit of the brown sugar cinnamon cream cheese spread. So, what are we gonna do? Sometimes, do you take a shower for the day and just put pajamas right back on? That's me today, but it's okay. It's fine. I have this idea in my head. There's an idea. I think I'm gonna use the last of my flour, some of my yeast, and I forgot to show you guys I have like this much milk. Maybe not even, maybe this much milk left over. I think I want to make some Indian fry bread. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with it after we make it. 3/4 cups of water, 1 package of the yeast. Like, I'm eyeballing like a tablespoon of sugar. Give it a quick mix and let it get frothy. While this is becoming frothy, I put the rest of my milk, which is probably 1/3 of milk, and 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to heat it up a little bit. Okay, it's a little frothy. See, I want to put about that wasn't quite enough, teaspoon salt. Eyeballing her because that's what I do best. The amount of flour I had left over was right under 3 cups. It's like 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. So I want to add that. Now, here's my scalded milk and butter. I want to let it cool just a little because I don't want to kill that yeast. I'm going to start mixing this up. Now, I'm going to add I'm gonna let this rise about 30 minutes with a damp towel. This part's the part that's damp. She's risen. Boom. I'll cover my hands in some flour. Boom. I had to get a little bit of flour from my pantry flour because I forgot to save some for this. But that's okay. Pantry item. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes so I can just chill out, and I'm going to start heating up my oil to fry. I just divided the dough and flattened it out. And this is what I chose to do for lunch today. I made a ton of Indian fry bread. And it's got a little sugar in it, so it's a little sweet. We can top it with peanut butter or some of this brown sugar and cinnamon cream cheese, and top it with some of the leftover blackberries that we have. Simple lunch. And who says lunch has to be something crazy with all sorts of different things? This is simple, and this is going to be bomb. Yeah. That's it. Plus, there's a lot more where that came from. I can't even tell y'all how much we love Indian fry bread.
This one's very good.
You probably put blackberries on the peanut butter one too. Didn't think about it.
I usually don't like peanut butter, but that's pretty good.
In case you're wondering about how fluffy and soft, they're very soft. Dinner tonight, I decided to do a couple of different things. So first thing I want to do, and I'll show you the end result, all that chicken that I had left, I threw it right here into the Instant Pot with some water with just a little adobo, and I'm going to cook it until it's tender and I can pull all the meat off the bones. 25 minutes, if you can see. Remove the chicken, it's falling apart. As you can tell, it looks like a big blob mess. But I'm going to save this chicken broth. I'm going to get all the little bits out first. Alrighty, so I'm going to make some Mexican rice with the leftover rice, but I'm not going to use water, I'm going to use chicken broth. Yeah. The rice is in here, and I put a couple scoops of that chicken bouillon powder. And those leftover beans, I rinsed them off, and I'm throwing them in here as well. Gonna cook this like I do my rice normally in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna let it go for 10 minutes. Here I have 2 bowls. I shredded up all that chicken. I put a little bit of taco seasoning in it that I have in the cabinet, and I put the rest of that carnita in this bowl. She's done. That Mexican rice with those beans. I have 5 pieces of that plastic cheese left. I'm putting it in this and I'm melting it so everything has the same amount of cheese. It's pretty much melted. I mean, there's a few chunks, but it's fine. If you could see it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take half of this and put it in the carnita. And the rest of it, I'm going to mix with the chicken. Chicken, carnita. And I'm going to mix this all up together, and we are going to stuff those leftover tortillas. Okay. There's the carnita version. Tortillas are ready. And we're going to start stuffing. Gonna roll her up. Put her in a casserole dish. I made 6 and I overstuffed these things. Like, they're huge. 2 tortillas are left. I'm going to save these for Colin some, like a burrito, because he doesn't really prefer enchilada sauce. I mean, he likes it, but he would prefer to not have it. He can eat it, but you know, why not? I poured that enchilada sauce in this, and then I added a can of water to stretch it. Normally we top it with cheese, but I ran out. It's on the inside, so this is good. I'm going to bake it on 375 for about 30 minutes. All right, she's done. It's me today, Margaret. Dusty and the boys are busy in the basement, so I'm the taste tester for this, which is cool because I'm a harder critic on myself. That's hot. That is pretty good. Ooh, that's nice. By the way, when I was getting mine out, I dropped it and it busted open. Oopsie. It still tastes the same. Like I said, Colin is going to get burrito style. Man, this is really good. This is good. This does not feel like I'm on a top budget, and it does not feel like I'm on my last day of the budget when I'm just using whatever I have left. This tastes amazing. Dang. Okay, that was it. That was how I fed my family for 6 days for $35 while supplementing stuff that I grow in my backyard. As y'all can see, growing a garden really, really helps. And if you have a chance to grow a garden, even if you don't have the land or the backyard, try to team up with a family or a friend and you guys can do it together. It really, really helps stretch that budget. I swear it does. You may have noticed I did not do the blackberry dumplings, but I'm going to save that for a video next week, and I'll show you next week. Yeah, we're definitely doing the blackberry dumplings. I gotta show y'all. This video is the longest video ever, but that's because I did my shopping, my prep, everything in one video, and that's why it took me a couple of days to get a video out, because I was working hard on this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it inspires you to try to come up with some goodies on a little budget if you have to or if you want to. Okay, I love you guys. Remember, as always, be positive, kind, and happy, and I'll see you next video. Bye. I love you. Bye.